interesting project in front of you. Friends, if you see tribes, they have their own way of communicating, they have their own way of storytelling, sharing the knowledge from one generation to generation, and that story and that song. And through this, we relive our identity and our journey, and we try to say who we are. So here is a very interesting project we're glad to present. So I request Shobha to introduce to everybody. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Shobha. I'm so excited to tell our story to the world. Yeah, like I'm so happy and I'm so excited. So I have been working as a district coordinator in Nilgiris district for uh, Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Group Federation, past 5 years. And I would like to invite and welcome.
Yeah. So we'd like to welcome each and everybody present joining here. I would like to give few instructions, and that's the viewers, those who want to listen to us, those who want to experience this book launch in English, can be live in the Wire YouTube channel. You can watch the English translation in the Wire YouTube channel. And if you want to listen, if you are Tamil speaker, if you want to listen to it in Tamil, you go to YouTube page of Adivasi Drishyam. You will be live watching us. This you will be part of this great initiative, great project, witnessing our project, our forest dream. So over to you, Shobha. Yes.
Yeah. So along with this, I would like to invite and welcome again the speakers of this event, Mr. Gam Shimray, AIPP from Thailand, and Neeji Saraswati from Tamil Nadu, NPVTG Federation, and Mr. Madegowda, ATREE, Kannada, and the great moderator, Archana Soreng. Yeah, here is our speakers and our participants throughout the country are seeing this view.
Just want to add that we might be facing some technical issues from Shobha's side because she is speaking from a remote area. So would like to request everyone to have patience if we lose Shobha sometimes, and we will continue with the program with rest of the speakers.
Okay.
Eugene, would you like to go ahead? I think we still don't have Shobha with us, and we will also be explaining how you can check the different languages. So if Vaishnavi and Eugene can step in, because we still don't have Shobha.
Yes. Hi everyone. It's glad to see you all here, and Johar and warm welcome to one and all. So as we get Sobha back, I'll be briefing about this book and this initiative. Today we have gathered here for this online launch of storybook and music album created by Nilgiris PVTG Groups Federation. And the title of today's event is also called as Our Stories, Our Song, and Our Forest, Building Adivasi Youth Power. And I think the title itself says it all, that today we have gathered here to hear stories, songs, and what forest means to the Adivasis of Nilgiris. So, continuing this, I now request Eugene to take it ahead.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Archana. It is great pleasure to have all of us amidst us as a panelist. It's a great collaboration. It's a great effort, as you rightly said. It's a great book. As we are talking about a storybook. We struggle a lot. We have our story. We have our narrative. We have so many things, but it is not being transmitted. But this is a medium. Tribes. They are often regarded in popular domain that they are primitive, they are savage, but we have always kept in pace with the time. We have always done a great job in terms of documenting, in terms of communication, and this itself is a great example of such documentation. This is such a great example of mass communication which we are doing. So, and this is the book, and this book you can see how a lot of uh, uh, story about displacement, story about struggle of identity, and a lot more. So this is jointly being produced by Nilgiri PVTG Federation. They have come up with a story where a grandmother and a grandchild. Adivasis have always believed in taking the knowledge or understanding or coming into the knowledge form through our ancestors, through our seniors. And this is a book which is a great example of such respect for our, like, we having a respect for our elders, our ancestors. And this is a great, and we also have, we like to express ourselves through music. And, in this generation, we are glad to, bring to you the music digitally before you with a great meaning. So, yes, I think you can follow us in Adivasi Drishyam. Those who are looking a Tamil speaker can see it in Adivasi Drishyam YouTube page. We also have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter page. You can also follow us there. So, taking this interesting book, let's not much wait and move ahead towards the session. So, over to you, Shobha and Archana.
Hello everyone, I am Shobha Madan from Nilgiris. I have been working as a district coordinator for NPVTG Federation last 5 years, and I would like to invite and welcome for this event for all participating. And I would like to invite the speakers to share about their experience to this event. First, Mr. Gam Shimray, AAPP, Thailand. This is Neeji Saraswati, Secretary of NPVTG Federation, Tamil Nadu, and Mr. Madegowda, ATREE from Kannada, and Archana Soreng, a student of this Bombay. And also, I would like to invite and welcome all the friends who have been supporting for this event and supporting to our work here. And also, the viewers of this event, also I would like to invite and welcome them also. So this is event which we are launching today about the forest dreams, and the album we are releasing today, the forest lives, which we created to create awareness among Adivasi throughout the country. This forest dream book is about the history of Adivasis in a three phases. First phase is earlier how Adivasis were lived, and second phase is the current situation of Adivasis facing across the country, and third phase is how we can retrieve back our rights. And also, this book is made by communities for the communities. So I think this book will help us to understand Adivasis issues and address in a way that people can get their rights back. So along with this, I would like to invite my working team, Shobana and Lakshmi, to share about their experiences and the work which we're doing here, and also the current situation of Adivasis are realistic. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Shobana. I am living in Gudalur. I did graduation in BCom from Bharatiya University Arts and Science College, Gudalur. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. I speak about the activities of Nilgiri Vulnerable Tribal Group Federation in Nilgiri district. The activities are: first one, FRE implementation. We are working in 60 villages in the district, creating awareness, forming Gram Sabha. We are convinced 10 Gram Sabhas. Second one, Tribal Development Council. Through this, we are addressing village issue to district administration. Third one, Tribal Supplant Fund. We are connecting Tribal Supplant Fund to reach communities directly. Fourth one, retrieving back lost land. We are helping Adivasi to retrieve the lost land through the support of district administration. And fifth one, education program. The evening tuition center was started from November 1st, 2018. The evening tuition center is created for school going Adivasi children. The evening tuition center run by Mandina Makka Kalpadu Trust. The evening tuition center provides culture appropriate education for Adivasi children. Adivasi children are dropping out from the school because who didn't understand the language and the system used in the school. The evening tuition center children to understand the subject in their own language. We are creating our own syllabus. We are teaching FR storybook. We provide teaching tools, training and regular follow-up visit to the village. By this, I concluded my words. Thank you. எல்லோருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். என் பெயர் லக்ஷ்மி. நான் பணியர் சமுதாயத்தை சார்ந்தவர் ஆவேன். நான் 10ஆம் வகுப்பு படித்திருக்கிறேன். நான்
studying 10th standard.
வருகின்றேன்.
I'm from Gudalur, Pact, Nilgiri.
மீட்டெடுக்கவும் வன உரிமை சட்டம்
I'm continuously working for the tribal community, Adivasi community.
சமுதாயத்தை சார்ந்த ஆதிவாசிகள் வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றனர். அவர்கள் பணியர், பெட்டகுரும்பர், காட்டுநாயக்கர்,
There are Paniyar, Pettakurumar, Irudar, Potar, ஆதிவாசிகள்
ஆதிவாசிகள் வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றனர். அவர்களது மொழியையும் பாரம்பரிய கலாச்சாரத்தையும் வழிநடத்தி வருகின்றனர். 400 வருடங்களுக்கு
they
முன்பு
are receiving our tradition and culture.
நிம்மதியாகவும் வாழ்ந்து
These are the group who were there at their own freely. They were independent. Once the Britishers came in, they became slaves and started working under them. Their lands were converted into estates. Then the lands started going from their hands slowly. Even when they have got their own land, when they started occupying, other people cheated that and got it back from them. But still, there is not even 1 acre of land.
நிலமும் ஆதிவாசி அல்லாதவர்களின் பெயரில் இருக்கின்றன. பள்ளிக்கு
Even when they hold a pata, the name of the land is in other people.
பள்ளி நிறுத்தம் செய்கின்றான். சிறு வயது திருமணம்.
Hence, because there is a issue with the language, there's a lot of dropouts in education, and they don't even get government work because they get everything for free. There is a lot of alcoholism in the community. They are not aware of where to get their rights and assert their rights. There's no communication with the politicians, and the politics are happening. Hence, there is no implementation of FRI. They have stopped the implementation of FRI for 10 years. 2016, again, the act was implemented. Only then the law was implemented. Only 3 cents of land was given to people. Even the government doesn't know what the FRI Act is. Hence, there is no implementation of FRI Act because there is no understanding of FRI Act. We are in verge of destruction. I would like to say this, and thank you.
Just a small correction. What is being referred here is FRA, which is the Forest Rights Act, under which various rights under community forest resources and individual forest resources can be claimed by the people, especially Adivasis and forest dwellers and other tribes. So the act being referred is FRA and not FRI. Thank you. And just one more addition, in case you want a specific language, you can go to the language interpretation section, and there you can choose English in case you want English as your language, and then you can choose Tamil in case you want Tamil as your language. And once you want to get back to the webinar, you can just switch to original audio. Please give us a minute. We are just getting back. Eugene, I think you are muted. Can you please check your sound connection? And next are Alma and Shobha.
Yeah.
Shobha, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Shobha, you are muted. Just check your mute button. Just check the button on your screen. Yeah, you are muted. Yeah. Try to speak now.
Hi. Hi, once again. So I'm so happy to launch.
Shobha, we can't hear.
Now, can
Try
you hear
to
me?
speak again, please.
Hi. Hi, I'm Shobha here once again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Thank you, Shushmita. Here I'm again to share about our storybook here. We have prepared a storybook which we talk about our history, and we are telling about story to the world actually. So here is the book. I'm just showing up in the screen. Our Forest Dream. This is the book. Thank you. And this book was made by the community for the community. And we have gathered a lot of information from the elders, and our brothers and sisters were shared what all the knowledge they had. And also, this book was made for to create awareness for the Adivasis across the country to know about their histories and the reality of their life right present, and how they can reclaim it back through the Forest Right Act. Also, we have prepared some albums which we have took the information from this book, and same as our elders through their knowledge and their through their their way of life history, and we made it in the book and the album. And also this book is for the Tamil book we have launched last year in 2019 September 29th in Tamil Nadu, but we are so happy to and excited to launch this book for at least eight languages. We made it, and this is a day for us, these story can be spread and passing to other brothers and other state and sisters can see it, this story. Actually, this story creation, the friends were supported. Many friends across the country were night and day and sitting and translating in different languages and designing. This was took a long, like 2 years to prepare this. And today we are here launching this book. And I wanted to acknowledge some of my friends who are very supportive for launching this book, and as well as the preparing, designing these things. We, as like NPVTG Federation in South India, we made two languages. One is Malayalam and is Tamil. And for the Tamil translation, Professor Manivannan had made it here in Ooty Arts College. And the designing was done by Mr. Gaudam in Coimbatore. I hope he is a professor. And also some few friends who supported for translation and designing, Deepan, and
Right, sure.
Deepan and I'm just Deepan and K. Lakshmi, Abhishek, Shobha, Madan, and volunteers, Mr. Deepan. For the Malayalam translation, Priya, she's our work team, and Lakshmi, Meenakshi auntie, and she's our neighbor, and myself. And I would like to thank to Martin, who's designing all the songs and videos for us. And I would like to share about my friends here with me today. All our team are here attending this launch. And I would like to pass on to Alma to share about this book and then her experience of working with us.
Good evening, Johar. Thank you, Shobha and Eugene, for the beautiful introduction. Also, greetings to all the viewers. I am very lucky to be part of this team. Very recently, few months back, I got in touch with Shobha and came to know about this great initiative that they have taken. So voluntarily, I have tried to help them in many ways, whatever I could. So as Shobha has already mentioned, that this work has been very exciting and creative way that has been done through. So I like Shobha said, we have tried to do it in 8 languages, but till now 6 languages books have been ready, and another 2 languages is in process. So I continue to thank and acknowledge all the people and the team members who have contributed in different ways. So, for example, for the Odia version, the Odia text translation has been done by Satyanarayan Acharya, and I myself I helped the copy editing and improvement of the content. And we also have launch of book story reading of all 6 languages. So for that also we have like voiceover supported and done by our friends from different states, from different language speaking friends. So Odia voiceover has been done by Usha Kerketa, her role as Aji or the grandmother, and Manisha Kerketa as Medhi or the granddaughter. And then we have volunteers like Pushpanjali and her team. Likewise, the English version text translation has been done by Aditi Pinto, and we have other volunteers like Meera Singh, Jayashree, and Akhil. And for the Kannada version, text translation has been done by Dr. K.V. Prabhakar, and Kannada voiceover by Aparna, Maitri, and Dr. Prabhakar. And the design has been done by Narayana. So we also have volunteers Tumbe, Jayashree, and Manu. We acknowledge their contribution in Kannada book. And for the Marathi translation, the translation has been done by Nakul Rawali and Ganesh Birajdar, and Marathi voiceover done by Kirti Varta as grandmother and Swarali Varta as Methi or the granddaughter. So we also acknowledge the contribution of Atharvan and Shubhadatai, Amog and Amol. They have helped us as in different ways as a volunteer. The Bangla translation is in process. We are hoping that we will be able to complete it very soon. The Hindi version also is under process. And we also would like to acknowledge the contribution of the other team members like Mega, who has been recently to the team, and in spite of her not good, she's not been in good health, but still she is supporting us in different ways. Eugene through Adivasi Drishyam, they have been promoting our work. Susmita, Archana for the social media support, Martin, Shankaran for the Tamil music videos, which we will be hearing very soon now, and Madhuri Karak for the website designing. We have designed website and launch it today. I think the link has been shared in the chat, so you may visit the website as well, where you can view you can have the glimpses of those books as a PDF format. We also acknowledge Vaishnavi and Bharati for the interpretation in this event. So thank you for listening to me and to us. And now I hand over to Archana to take forward this program. Thank you. Eugene or Archana?
Yeah. So thank you, Alma. Thank you so much. And I would like to say that though this book is, the context is set in Nilgiris, but it relates to us, it relates to you and all the viewers, all the Adivasis, even we can connect to this story. And I think let's not delay and go towards the book launch. And as we are in the process of book launch, let's also listen to, since we the book reading, as Alma said that we have recorded the book in an audio format in 6 languages, so we are really happy to present you. So I request the team to present the audio video.
ଆଇମା ଆଇମା ଦେଖୁଥିଲି ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ସପନ। ଆମ ଚାରିପଟେ ଘନ ସବୁଜ ଅରଣ୍ୟ, ଆକାଶରେ ଉଡୁଛନ୍ତି କେତେ ଯେ ଚଢେଇ, ଝରଣା ତ ବହି ଯାଆନ୍ତି କଳ କଳ ହୋଇ। କେତେ ଛତୁ ଆଉ ଚେରମୂଲି, ଗଛୁ ତୋଲୁଥିଲେ ଆମେ ମିଠା ମିଠା କୋଲି। ଆଇମା ନଥିଲେ ସେଠି ବନ ଜଗୁଆଳି। ତମେ କେବେ ଦେଖିଛ କି ଏପରି ସପନ?
ହଁ ଲୋ ମା, ଅଗଣିତ ବାର ମୁହିଁ ଦେଖିଛି ଏ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ। ଦେଖିଛନ୍ତି ମୋହର ଜେଜେମା, ତାଙ୍କର ଜେଜେମା, ଆମ ବଂଶର ସବୁ ଲୋକ ପୁରାତନ। ଲୋକେ ଭାବୁଥିଲେ ସେ କାଳେ ଏମିତି, ବନ ନୁହେଁ କାର ନିଜର ସମ୍ପତ୍ତି, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଦେଇଛି ପ୍ରକୃତି। ବଦଳି ଯାଇଛି ଏବେ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି। କୀଟନାଶକ କି ରାସାୟନ ସାର ହେଉନଥିଲା ତାର ବ୍ୟବହାର। ହାତେ ଲମ୍ବା ପୁଣି ରଙ୍ଗ ନାଲି ନାଲି, କେଡ଼େ ସୁଆଦିଆ ଥିଲା ସେ କଦଳୀ। ଦୁଇଟି ଫସଲ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଥିଲା ବ୍ୟବଧାନ, ମୃତ୍ତିକା ଉର୍ବର ରହି ଭଲ ଉତ୍ପାଦନ। ଅମଳ ପରେ ଉତ୍ସବ କେତେ ଯେ ପାଳନ, ମାଟି ମାକୁ କରୁଥିଲୁ ଭକ୍ତିରେ ନମନ।
ଆଇମା, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ ଯଥେଷ୍ଟ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଥିଲା?
ହଁ ଲୋ ମା, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଥିଲା ଖାଇବା ପ୍ରଚୁର। ପଶୁ ପକ୍ଷୀ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ନିମନ୍ତେ ଆହାର। ନେଉଥିଲୁ ଯାହାର ଯେତେ ଅଟେ ଦରକାର, ବାଣ୍ଟି କୁଣ୍ଟି ଖାଉଥିଲୁ ଆମେ ପରସ୍ପର।
ए आजी, आपल्याला आपलं जंगल हे किती चांगलं भेट आहे। आपलं कोणी आजारी पडलं तर तेव्हा सुद्धा आपल्याला ते मदत करेल का?
अगं मेघी, आपल्या निसर्गाकडे खूप गोष्टी आहेत, भरपूर प्रश्नाची उत्तरं आहेत। जंगल असेल तर कशाचीच अडचण पडणार नाही, असं आपल्या पूर्वजांनी सांगितले आहे। जंगल तुझ्या स्वप्नात आले होते, आठवतंय तुला? चल माझ्या बरोबर, ये मी तुला काही औषधी वनस्पती दाखवते। या वनस्पती खोकला, ताप, जखम याकरता उपयोगी येतात।
अजून कोणत्या गोष्टी जंगल आपल्याला देते ग आजी?
आपण जे बोलतो, आपण जे गातो, ज्या शक्तीची आपण पूजा करतो, काही लोक याला संस्कृती म्हणतात, आपण याला फक्त जंगल म्हणतो.
पण आजी, आपलं जीवन तर आता खूप बदललेलं आहे. मला सांग ना, केव्हा, कधी आणि कसं?
आपण जंगलात राहत होतो, खूप सुखाने आणि शांतपणे एकांतात. पण ब्रिटिशांचे राज्य आले आणि परकीयांनी आपल्याला त्यांचे गुलाम बनवले. आपण जंगलाला आपली आई मानायचो, पण त्यांना केवळ इथे लाकूड दिसले. त्यांनी केवळ पैशाचाच विचार केला.
They drew maps, made laws, and slapped taxes, Nidhi. Before we knew it, they claimed our lands as their property. They cut the forests and planted foreign trees, created a forest department and an army of guards, and stopped our access to fuel wood, fruits, and hunting. The insects cried, the water wept, and so did we. Oh, do you feel the pain, Nidhi? Oh, child, the hurt runs in our bodies and in the streams. It oozes from the land and passes through our genes.
അതേ അജി, അതൊക്കെ ഇനിയും നമ്മൾ പോരാടി നേടേണ്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ തുടരെ തുടരെ നമ്മളെ ചൂഷണം ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും പരിഷ്കൃത സമൂഹമെന്ന് അഭിമാനിക്കുന്നവർ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് മൗനം പാലിക്കുന്നു?
ആയിരക്കണക്കിന് ആദിവാസികൾ ഒത്തുകൂടി പോരാടി.
തേയില, കാപ്പി തോട്ടങ്ങളിൽ എന്നു മുതലാണ് നമ്മൾ പണിയെടുക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയത്? ആരാണ് ഇതിനൊക്കെ കാരണമായത്? നമുക്കുള്ള ഭക്ഷണ സാധനങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ തന്നെയാണ് വിളയിച്ചിരുന്നത്.
നാണ്യവിളകളുടെ വരവോടെ നാം ദൂരഗതരായി, മെലിഞ്ഞുപോയി.
ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാരുടെ കയ്യിൽ പണവും അത്യാധിയും ഉണ്ടായി. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ ആവാൻ പാടില്ല. സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യം ലഭിക്കുന്നതുവരെ നമ്മൾ പോരാടുക തന്നെ വേണം.
മുൻപ് നമ്മൾ എന്തിനു വേണ്ടിയാണ് സമരങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തത്? നമ്മുടെ ആവശ്യം ഭൂമിയാണോ അതോ അവകാശമാണോ?
അതേ വേദി ധൈര്യത്തോടെ ആയുധങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് സമരങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അതിലൂടെ കുറച്ച് ഭൂമി തിരിച്ചു പിടിച്ചു. ആ ഭൂമിക്ക് ഒതുക്കപ്പെട്ട ഭൂമി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അതിനുശേഷം അവർ അതിൽ താമസം തുടങ്ങി. പിന്നീട് സംരക്ഷിക്കപ്പെട്ട വനം എന്ന് പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചു. കൃഷിക്കാരായ നമ്മെ അവകാശമില്ലാത്തവരായും കുറ്റക്കാരുമായി ചിത്രീകരിക്കപ്പെട്ടു. നമ്മളെ അവകാശങ്ങൾക്ക് അർഹരല്ലാത്തവരാക്കി മാറ്റി, പരിതാപകരമായ നിലയിലാക്കി. ചില സ്വകാര്യ സന്നദ്ധ സംഘടനകൾ നമ്മളെ സഹായിക്കാനും സംരക്ഷിക്കാനും വേഷം കെട്ടിയെത്തി. നമ്മുടെ ലോകം ആകെ മാറി. വിദ്യാലയം, ആശുപത്രികൾ, സർക്കാരേതര സന്നദ്ധ സംഘടനകൾ പ്രത്യക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു. എല്ലാവരും നമ്മുടെ പൂർവികരുടെ പേരുകൾ കടമെടുത്തു.
ನಿನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಲಿನ್ ಕಂಡ್ಯಾಕಂತ ಈಗ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾಣ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವುಗಳ ಕಾಡಿನ ಮನೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಶವಾಗಿ ಈ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಗಳು ಬಂದು ಅವೆಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೇಕು? ಓಡಿ ಹೋಗೋದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ದಾರಿ ಇತ್ತು? ಅಣೆಕಟ್ಟು, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ, ಗಣಿಗಾರಿಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಕಾಡೆಲ್ಲ ನಾಶ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಂದ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ಹುಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕೊನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕಾಡಿನ ಜೀವಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಆದಿವಾಸಿಗಳೇ ಕಂಡ್ಕ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಾಡಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆತ್ತಾಕಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡು ಈಗ ಮೇರಿ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ರೇನೋ ತೊಲಗಿದ್ರು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟೋಗಿರೋ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಅದೇ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆ, ಅದೇ ಅರಣ್ಯ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕಂತ ನಾವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಕಾಡ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾಲದಿಂದೂ ಗೊತ್ತು.
ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಈ ಕಾಡಿನಿಂದ ಹೊರಹಾಕಲು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆದೇಶ ಇದೆ.
ಯಾರವ್ವ ಈ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ತಗೊಂಡವರು?
நம்ம நிலங்களை எப்போ பயன்படுத்த தொடங்கினோம்?
எங்கே நமது உரிமைகளும் அரசியல் சக்தியும்?
பள்ளிகளிலும் மருத்துவமனைகளிலும் வேலை வாய்ப்பிலும் நாம புறக்கணிக்கப்பட்டது ஏன்?
ஆமா மேரி, அரசியல்வாதிங்க நம்மள பாதுகாக்க தவறுனாங்க. இந்த சமயத்துல அரசு சாராத அமைப்புங்க நம்மோட இணைஞ்சாங்க. ஆனா நம்ம நம்பிக்கையையும் பாராட்டையும் அவங்களால பெற முடியல. அதிகமான நிதிய அவங்க உருவாக்கினதுனால அதிக நிலங்களை இழந்தது நாமதான்.
ஆமா அஜி, ஆதிவாசிகளுக்கு எப்ப சுதந்திரம் கிடைக்கும்? ஆமா அஜி, எவ்வளோ கொடூரம். நம்ம வரலாற்றை நான் பள்ளிக்கூடத்துல படிச்சதே இல்லை.
நீ குழந்தையா இருந்தப்ப இயற்கை கிட்ட இருந்தும் அம்மா, அஜி மற்றும் சொந்தக்காரங்கிட்ட எல்லாத்தையும் கத்துக்கிட்ட. இப்ப கான்கிரீட் காட்டுக்குள்ள அடைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோம். கணிதம், வரலாறு பாடங்க முடிவு பெறாமலே இருக்கு. இந்த காயத்தை தள்ளி எதிர்நீச்சல் போட்டு இதய துடிப்ப எப்படி தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும்?
அஜி, வாதியா இருந்த ஆதிவாசிகளோட மொழியில சொல்லி கொடுப்பதே இல்லை. மாணவர்கள் கஷ்டப்பட்டு புரிஞ்சுக்கிறாங்க.
Lovely. I mean, you can hear the glimpse, you can see the glimpse of the book. What a lovely conversation, what a lovely enriching discussion which is happening intergenerational. This is what Adivasi values lies in, this is what our principle lies in. Maybe there are several epistemologies or several methods to gain knowledge, but Adivasi's main source of knowledge and source of wisdom is from our ancestors, and this exactly you can say it how it is happening through this conversation. A conversation, a love shared, a communication shared between a grandmother and granddaughter. Lovely, amazing, what a powerful story. It connects all the Adivasis here. I am right now in Odisha, Sundargarh district of Odisha. We are facing the same issue. We are facing the same issue of land alienation. We are facing the same issue of displacement. We are facing the same issue of identity struggle. All the Adivasis, it's not only in context to India, but it's global. It's a global issue. The indigenous communities are what they're facing. It is very much reflected in this particular book. So please go and read. It's on our website. So this was about our book launch, our forest dreams. And now we move on towards the music launch. Friends, as I said, Adivasi value system or Adivasi method of transmitting knowledge is through songs, stories, and we enter toward another domain, that's the song. Now I request Archana Soreng to take the floor, and let's listen to the music, and let's listen to Archana what she has to say. Over to you, Archana. Thank you so much.
Johar everyone, and this has been very inspiring and emotional hearing this entire web of the story, though it was in different languages, but the emotions was truly felt. So moving ahead for the exciting session which is awaited, that is music launch of Our Forest Lives. Before we go ahead to the music launch, I would like to share about Nilgiris and Nilgiris PVTG Federation. Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation, is a collective initiative of 8 villages coming together and forming federation to fight for the struggles to preserve their history and culture and tradition. And Nilgiris is also known as the biodiversity spot by UNESCO. But the story which is unheard is that Nilgiris, being very rich in terms of biodiversity, is also called as green desert by the Adivasis activists. Why do we call it green desert? A question which will get answers from our speakers and also which is written in the storybooks. So a slight insight which I had while reading the book is, how there has been artificial crop plantation and pushing forward for plantation of cash crop, which looks green but has no sustainable benefits for the Adivasis of Nilgiris, rather making them marginalized and depriving them from the food, safety, security, and sovereignty. So stories like that, and as Sobha rightly said, today we have gathered here to cherish and to achieve this and rejoice this landmark wherein we are celebrating the storybook and the music launch made by the community members for the community members. And this storybook and this music videos which have been created is a toolkit for Forest Rights Act 2006. This also helps in understanding the provisions of Forest Right Act. And if we talk about Nilgiris, one of the major challenges which is faced by the Adivasis of Nilgiris is in terms of access of education. And I'm very happy and proud to share with you all that Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation, has initiated tutor camps for the children, for the Adivasi children of Nilgiris, wherein the community members themselves are mentoring the students, the children of the Adivasi community, wherein we ourselves will make an enabling space for our own community members. So this initiative by the Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation, they have started this tutor and mentoring the children in 25 villages in Nilgiris. And this is so inspiring. We don't need other education system, or we don't need imposed education system. We will ensure our education system which is guided by histories, cultures, tradition, by the stories told by our elders, by the music, the songs told by our ancestors. This is what they have been practicing, and today is the result of their activities or their efforts from years long. And for this book and for this music, they have been dedicatedly working since past 3 years, and today is the day where we all together are celebrating this, and many people have joined this journey, supported them. So my dear friends, without doing further delay, so here we go ahead towards the music launch of Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation. The music album is titled as Our Forest Lives. And here we go. The first music video is about youth arising. Now I request our team to play the song, please.
As a song is getting played, I just wanted to add a small thing. So the great thing about this project has been that this already has been translated into several Indian languages, namely Malayalam, Kannada, Odia, Marathi, and Bangla and Hindi are in pipeline. So it's a like strong request to everyone who wants to translate this book into their language to come up and help us with the translations. And for the question answers, you can type in your questions in the chat box. Our panelists will be taking up questions one by one.
ஒன்று கூடியே வென்று காட்டவே துள்ளி ஓடி வா வா உன் கரம் கொண்டு நீ பலம் சேர்த்திட வீர இளைஞனே வா ஒன்று கூடியே வென்று காட்டவே துள்ளி ஓடி வா வா உன் கரம் கொண்டு நீ பலம் சேர்த்திட வீர இளைஞனே வா துன்பம் துயரம் துடைத்திட துணிந்தோடி வா வா நம் உரிமை என்றும் கிடைத்திட சினத்தோடு வா வா கூனி குறுகி வாழ்ந்ததெல்லாம் இனியும் போதுமே உன் குரலை உயர்த்தி நீ எழுந்தால் வரலாறாகுமே கூனி குறுகி
Yeah, so I was super happy hearing the song, and as rightly mentioned in the song, it is oh rise bravely. It is the time to raise your voice and make history. Definitely, it is a time to rise, to come together collectively and make history and ensure that the implementation of the forest rights and our rights over our land and forest is there. So yes, it is very very inspiring song. So we showed you the few clips. I request the team if we could move ahead with our speaker. So my dear friends, as we really as we heard right now, that it's time to raise our voice and make history. And our next speaker, which with whom we'll be hearing, is none other than who has been actively engaging and has dedicated himself for the advocating for rights of indigenous people for over 30 years. So now, my dear friends, presenting Secretary General of Asia Indigenous Peoples Pact, we have with us Gam Shimray. So I request Gam to share his thought on this auspicious and remarkable day.
Thank you very much, Archana. Good evening and good morning, because I think we're in different time zones. Yes, at the outset, I would like to really congratulate the Federation for such a lovely initiative. I think the work is really wonderful and inspiring, and at the right time and the right thing to do, because it's focusing really on the youth. Because the youth today for us represents the resiliency of our communities in the future. So I don't have much to share, but I would like to draw my sharing as an inspiration from the story and also the song that I just saw. Now, in the song, we have seen about the kind of bravery and braveness that we need in order to rise up and confront the kind of challenges and situation that we are in, and not to be fearful of those, and that we cannot remain cowardly, but we need to come forward. and also the video that which you had started showing a little bit, and because of time maybe you didn't show, where the kids are playing in the fields, in the forest area, mountain areas, very beautiful setting and so on. So all these, I just want to say that yes, we do share a lot of special relationship and connection with nature, whether it is the animals, the birds, the rivers or the streams and the mountains and so on. But how did this happen? And why is it so? I think that's really some of the stories that he was trying to bring out. And of course, it did not just happen like that at the time when I was born or you were born. The story really says that we did have some kind of a very special relationship. And then to be a person in the community who is fulfilling his or her life and serving the community and the people in general and caring for the environment can also be represented by the forest itself. Like the tree in the forest in our land, we need to grow strong. We need to be deeply rooted in the land. Without that, we cannot be a pillar in our families or of our communities or of the larger societies. I think this is also what it really says. Now, as I said, this is not something that has just begun at your time or my time or of this generation. It has begun long time ago, as Soreng also was mentioning in some of the points that he was raising. Essentially, it is two things. That is about our ancestors' awareness of the concept of time and space to our ancestors. Time here, I mean to say their awareness and consciousness of the unity of the past, present, and the future. And space here means the land on which we live and the cosmology that it encompasses of this universe. At the time, as I said, it has begun long ago, since time immemorial, when our ancestors decided to settle in the lands that we inhabit now. They have taken this existential vow that they will live in harmony with nature. They will live in symbiosis with nature. And it is through this conviction, existential conviction that they have made, that they have built a relationship with the land and the natural environment. So it is through this kind of conviction they interacted with nature, and Mother Earth has given them everything for them to survive, to live, to enjoy, for the survival. But we also co-created with nature. So because we were co-creating, we also contribute to the nature. So it is this reciprocal relationship through which we build our relationship with anything, whether it's the environment, land, forests, rivers, etc., or with animals. That's why we have stories about them. We use them as our symbols in many of the cultural expressions that we have. So it is by interacting with our lands and territories, we have enjoyed our freedom. We have come to realize the beauty of freedom. So our relationship continues to deepen, and our love for freedom and this love for this relationship that we have sort of become part of our life and our worldview continues to grow. Um, so it is, and then of course we also protect and defend it because we know that our freedom depends on this land. Our freedom has sprang from this land that we inhabit and nurture and take care. And the other aspect, as I was saying, is this awareness of time, which is of the unity of the past, present, and the future. Because it began long ago, the kind of wisdom that the story is trying to communicate, the kind of knowledge that it is communicating, and the kind of technology that we have developed, all these can be had and we can understand only if we become united with our past. That is the meaning of getting rooted in our history, in our tradition, and to be united in spirit with our ancestors so that we embody the spirit and the wisdom and the knowledge and technology of our ancestors. And that is the only way that we can make sense of our presence. And if we are not able to make sense of our presence, it means we cannot look towards the future. We cannot plan for the future. We will be lost. And that is why it is this whole concept of time is about unity of the past, present, and the future. Now, this is why our ancestors has always emphasized it's not about any other thing, but for them it is to leave behind good children and responsible children. And by this it means being united with the past. So that you will know why, or I will know why I must struggle and sacrifice today in the present. And that is why when we're under attack today, for now, even for many of us, hundreds of years, we continue to fight and we continue to sacrifice. Now we cannot sacrifice for so long, we cannot struggle for so long and suffer so much if we don't understand the meaning of the sacrifices that we are making. And to know means it is the good children, responsible children that our ancestors are referring to, so that we know the meaning, the purpose, so that we will never give up the struggle. We will defend it till the end of our lives. That is what it means. So it is through only this kind of sacrifices that we can attain the future that we are looking for. And we are there to defend to any extent, even to the extent of defending it with our life, because we are defending the territorial structure that help us make sense of what this world is and what orients us in this world and see the meaning in life. Otherwise, we'll be lost and we'll be doomed. And once we are doomed, there is no more sense, no more purpose. And that is what the ancestral wisdom is really about. You know? And that is why today we continue to struggle in defending our land, territories, and resources, our human rights, etc. And we're going through a time of great deal of sacrifices, definitely. It is for this purpose. And because we hold on to this wisdom and knowledge and the purpose that we have set and the meaning and the sacrifice that we make. It is for this reason. This is what makes us strong. But it is also not just for this. Today, the world is facing with global environmental crisis and also failures of democracy across the world. All these failures are manifestation of certain problems. And to me, this is a problem of spirituality. And I say spirituality because it is a question of existence, existentialism. It is about bonding, it is about sharing, it is about our identity and having this kind of a clear long-term vision as to what humanity should be. And that is why I'm saying this is more of a spiritual question and less of the material aspect or economy and so on. You know? And in our time, of course, we have suffered for so long that we have lost many things. And many things has also been taken away. But I do believe that rightly as the story is talking about the theme of dream, as long as we can dream and as long as we can reimagine we can still recover, because I believe that paradise lost can also be regained. So I would like to really congratulate your federation and for the wonderful work that you all have done. I will stop here, but AIBP definitely is interested more in your work and hope that we can collaborate more on other initiatives. So I will end here by congratulating all of you, and especially to the youth of this tribal federation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gam, for such an insightful message and such a deep message which you have put it across to us. And I am sure that youngsters, young Adivasi youth, those who have heard you today, have been inspired to the core. I mean, like, very important thing, as it is, as the title of the book is, Our Forest Dreams. We need to dream, we need to reimagine. What is lost can be regained. It is about what struggles we are going through and how we come together and be brave to preserve our culture and tradition. At the same time, you also spoke about unity in past, present and future, and this is so important. In order to understand our present, we have to go and reflect our past, which our ancestors have told, the traditional knowledge and practices of our ancestors. Only when we understand that past will we understand what present we are in, and how important it is to strive for our future, wherein we imagine that our rights are recognized and we are living in the same way as our ancestors were living in the forest, with their worldviews. And very rightly you explained, like, existentialism, it's more of spiritual than materialistic. It's definitely inspired me to the core, and I hope all the audience who have joined us have been very, very inspired. And we thank you a lot, Gam, for joining us today in this book launch and music album launch, and motivating and inspiring us, and specifically encouraging the Nilgiris, particularly vulnerable tribal groups federation. So thank you so much for your presence. So, my dear friends, Gam is here with us today, and you are free to use the question and answer option in the Zoom call, and you can ask him the questions. And he is here, he can answer to all your questions. At the same time, I also see in the chat box that we have few questions by participants, those who have joined, about Nilgiris. So I request my team also to keep answering those questions. And yes, moving ahead to the music launch of music album, we heard one music album, and then now we'll be hearing the other music, which is Kulia Pole. The name of the song is Kulia Pole, and this is the song where the children are wanting to say a very inspiring story about the Nilgiris. So I am super excited for this song which the children wants to tell us. So here we go. I request the team to present the song by the children.
குயில் போல கூவுவோம், மயில் போல ஆடுவோம், கிளி போல பேசி ஓடி விளையாடுவோம். குயில் போல கூவுவோம், மயில் போல ஆடுவோம், கிளி போல பேசி ஓடி விளையாடுவோம். மான் போல ஓடுவோம், தேன் போல பேசுவோம், வேல் போல குதித்து தாவுவோம். மான் போல ஓடுவோம், தேன் போல பேசுவோம், வேல் போல குதித்து தாவுவோம்.
this was super energetic music album presented and curated by the Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation. So huge congratulations! This has been amazing, inspiring, and fun-loving song by the children. And rightly they say that we are like parrots, we are like deers, and they are like very joyfully singing with the nature, and that is what we have been, dancing in the lap of nature, singing in the lap of nature. And because people call it, people see it, forest, as a commercial commodity. Other people see it as commercial commodities, but this is what it has been for us tribals, Adivasi communities, that forest is our source of identity and culture and heritage. And that is what it was in the song, and very inspiring and fun loving song by the children. So here we go for the next speaker we have for the day, and uh, we have Neeji Saraswati. She's from Kota Adivasi tribe, and she is a member of Nilgiris, particularly vulnerable tribal group federation. She is a committed social worker who has worked consistently to strengthen the voices of Adivasi communities in Nilgiris. She has also served as Tribal Development Council board member, Tribal Development Fund head, and also Tribal Subplan executive for Nilgiris district. She has written works that were published in Dinakaran Weekly and Kunguma Thosi publications. So we have Neeji Saraswati today with us in this event, but now we'll be hearing a pre-recorded video from her. So here we go. I request the team to present the video by Neeji Saraswati, and let us hear her stories, her message which she wants to tell on this auspicious day and presenting their labor of work.
என் பேர் நீஜி சரஸ்வதி. நான் ஊட்டியில் உள்ள நீலகிரி மாவட்டத்தில் சோலூர் கோக்காலில் கோத்தாசின இனத்தை சேர்ந்தவ.
I belong to the classical community. I'm from 1991. I'm into public work, also continuously protesting for the rights of people, especially for land rights. I'm continuously asserting for the rights in spite of lot of challenges for my people. I've done a lot of things to uphold the education level, for justice, for land rights. I'm continuously working for my people. My Kotari community, land is very important to them. We have continuously fighting with government for our livelihood.
I thank Neeji Saraswati for her beautiful message which she has put it across, and sharing her struggles with us, that how she has been constantly fighting for recognition of land rights of the Adivasis of Nilgiris. And she also says that how her struggle for fighting for the land rights is still ongoing. And therein I feel this day today is a very important day for the Nilgiris Adivasis, and along with that it is a very important day for us because this particular book, the storybook Our Forest Dreams, and the music album Our Forest Lives, will not only serve or act as a toolkit for implementation of Forest Rights Act 2006, but it will also be a guiding document or a guiding resource wherein we can share our struggles for land and forest with the children, and in a very early age we'll be able to say that. And that is what Neeji Saraswati also said, that it has been years of struggles for land rights, and taking ahead this struggles of land rights, this book will be an important tool for us and guiding principle for us. So my dear friends, I would like to uh, share with you all that Neeji Saraswati is here with us today and has joined us in this webinar. If you have any questions, if you want to share anything with her, you can please put it on the chat. And I thank Neeji Saraswati once again for sharing her thoughts and her struggles about the land rights and how they have been consistently fighting together as Nilgiris, particularly vulnerable tribal groups federation. And this is a source of inspiration for all of us, that we need to come together collective, as in federation, as in collective institutions, to fight for our land rights. So yes, moving ahead, we have another very interesting and amazing song, and here we go with a third song for the day, and moving ahead towards the music launch. So the name of the song is Diya Langdi, and this is very interesting and amazing music. Again, we are going to hear. So now I request the team to please play on the next song, and here we present a third song from the music album Our Forest Lives.
விட்டு போன நிலத்தை எல்லாம் மீட்க ஓடி வாங்க, குரல் கொடுப்போம் வாங்க, குறை தீரும் வாங்க, தியாலோ. நாங்க வாழ்ந்த காடு எல்லாம் நல்லா தானே இருக்கு, நீங்க பூந்த காடு இப்போ மண்ணா போய் கிடக்கு, நிலத்தை விட்டு ஓடிடு, நீதி கேட்டு போரிடு, தியாலோ. பாரம்பரிய நிலத்துல பணப்பயிர விதைக்கிற, பழங்குடிய பணிய வச்சு அகதிகளை வதைக்கிற, எங்க நிலத்தை கொடுத்திடு, எதுக்க வந்தா அடக்கிடு, தியாலோ. ஆக்கிரமிப்பாளர்னு ஆதிவாசிய சொல்லுற, உரிமைய கேட்டு வந்தா தீவிரவாதின்னு சொல்லுற, அடக்க வந்தா மீறுவோம், அடக்கி மேல ஏறுவோம், தியாலோ. காட்டுக்குள்ள கால வச்சா பூட்ஸ் காலில் மிதிக்கிற, தோட்ட வேலை பார்க்க வச்சு கூலியாக்கி ஒடுக்குற, மீண்டு வருவோம் நாங்க, மிரண்டு போயிடுவீங்க, தியாலோ. மழை தரும் மரங்களை படிப்படியா அழிச்ச, மண்ணை நம்பி வாழ்ந்த எங்களை பொடி பொடியா உடைச்ச, சேர்ந்து ஒன்னா வருவோம், சோர்வில்லாம எழுவோம், தியாலோ. dialangadi dialo, dialangadi 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 dialo, dialangadi dialo, dialangadi dialo, dialo.
This has just put me awestruck, and I'm just very super inspired. And I just feel like clapping hands. We can virtually clap hands. It's just so brilliant, so brilliant. And this song is sung by Lakshmi. We heard Lakshmi in the beginning of the session, and Lakshmi is still here. So you can shower your love to Lakshmi, who's the singer of this amazing, amazing song. And oh my God, the meaning of the song is just so brilliant. It is this what makes me feel that our struggles has to be fought through our songs and music and our stories, because it is our stories and our song which is our weapon, and through which we will fight for our struggles of land and forest, our identity. And rightly said, it's let us run and come and reclaim our lost land. And they have also and it also speaks, the song also says that you snatched our land and you gave this land to the state snatched the land, and the land has been given to the private corporate sectors, taking our lands. And also you call us encroachers in our own land. Oh my God, this is brilliantly written in this song. And that when we come to claim our rights, you are criminalizing us. This is what also was said in the song. And let us continue to come together, run and reclaim our lost land. And also another line which I caught from the song is also says that you brought us here to work in this garden, and you have deprived us from the land rights. And now when we are asking for the land rights, you have been putting across and treating us as encroachers. And I think this is what I am just relating what Gam said, that the time, unity in the time. And this is the story, and this is the songs of our past, which we now need to cherish this, and now need to come together and be more stronger. And this has been a very inspirational song. And I once again would like to congratulate Lakshmi and Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation, for this amazing and brilliant song. And here we go with another song from our music album, which is related to FRA. I request the team to play the song, which is based on Forest Right Act 2006.
ஏங்க இந்த சட்டத்தை கொஞ்சம் புரியும்படியா சொல்லுங்களேன், கேட்போம். ஓஹோ, அப்படிங்களா? கேளுங்க. ஒரு ஊருல, ஆஹா, ஒரு ஊருல சொல்லுங்க, ஒரு ஊருல 18 வயதிற்கு மேற்பட்டவர்கள் சேர்ந்து, ஊருல 18 வயதிற்கு மேற்பட்டவர்கள் சேர்ந்து 15 பேர் கொண்ட குழுவை உருவாக்கி, 15 பேர் கொண்ட குழுவை உருவாக்கி, 2 பொறுப்பாளர்களை நாம தேர்ந்தெடுத்து, 2 பொறுப்பாளர்களை நாம தேர்ந்தெடுத்து, நம் ஊருக்கான நலத்திட்டங்களை பெறுவதற்கான சட்டம், நம் ஊருக்கான நலத்திட்டங்களை பெறுவதற்கான சட்டம், சட்டம் 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 சட்டம், இது நம்ம உரிமை சட்டம், சட்டம் சட்டம் சட்டம், இது வன உரிமை சட்டம். சரிங்க, இந்த வன உரிமை சட்டத்துல எங்களுக்கு என்னென்ன நலத்திட்டங்கள் இருக்கு சொல்லுங்களேன். இங்கு 3 விதமான உரிமைகள் இருக்கு. அப்படியா? இங்கு 3 விதமான உரிமைகள் இருக்கு. ஒரு குடும்பத்தார் 10 ஏக்கர் விவசாய நிலம் வச்சுக்கலாம். குடும்பத்தார் 10 ஏக்கர் விவசாய நிலம் வச்சுக்கலாம். அப்போ 2வது உரிமை சமுதாய உரிமை. அண்ணே சமுதாய உரிமை அப்படின்னா மீனை பிடிக்கலாம், தேனை எடுக்கலாம், பழங்களையும் பறிக்கலாம், மருந்து எடுக்கலாம், விறகு பொறுக்கலாம், கிழங்குகளையும் எடுக்கலாம், ஆடு மேய்க்கலாம், மாடு மேய்க்கலாம், விளையாட்டு திடல் அமைக்கலாம், ஆடு மேய்க்கலாம், மாடு மேய்க்கலாம், விளையாட்டு திடல் அமைக்கலாம், ரோடு போடலாம், பள்ளி கட்டலாம், சமுதாய கூடம் கட்டிடலாம், சுடுகாடு அமைக்கலாம், கோவில் கட்டலாம், எல்லாவற்றையும் பெற்றிடலாம். நல்லா புரிஞ்சிருச்சு.
அந்த technical issue we are facing.
3வது உரிமை என்னங்க? வனப்பொருட்களை நாம் எடுக்க. அண்ணே கேளுங்க. இந்த வனப்பொருட்களை நாம் எடுக்க வரைபடம் போடுவது நம்
Are we able to hear this one?
உரிமையை பெறுவது எதுதான்? சட்டம் சட்டம் சட்டம், இது நம்ம உரிமை சட்டம். சட்டம் சட்டம் சட்டம், இது வன உரிமை சட்டம். சரிங்க, இதெல்லாம் எங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன வழி இருக்கு கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. கிராம சபை தீர்மானத்தில் முடிவெடுத்து பொண்டாச்சி அளவிலான கமிட்டிக்கு அதை அனுப்பி வச்சு அதை பரிசீலித்து மாவட்ட அளவிலான கமிட்டிக்கு அதை அனுப்பி வச்சு அதை பரிசீலித்து மக்களுக்கு சான்றிதழும் கொடுப்பாங்க. எந்த நிலத்தையெல்லாம் வித்திடவோ இத வாங்கிடவோ எந்த நிலத்தையெல்லாம் அடுத்தடுத்த தலைமுறையும் பயன்படுத்திடலாம். எந்த நிலத்தையெல்லாம் அடுத்தடுத்த நம்ம தலைமுறையும் பயன்படுத்திடலாம். இது ரொம்ப நல்ல சட்டமாச்சே. உண்மையிலேயே இது நமக்கான வன உரிமை சட்டம் தாங்க.
Can our team confirm in the chat box if the song is over? Yeah. Okay, we can go ahead. Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. So very, very inspired by how so complex law, many a times we say, oh my God, Forest Right Act. Summarize all the provision. I feel it very amazing, creatively presented by the Nilgiris, particularly vulnerable tribal groups of Federation, that they have very creatively made this song, which illustrates the importance of Forest Rights Acts, which illustrates the provision of Forest Rights Acts and the claim filing process and all the rights under the Forest Rights Act. So once again, a huge congratulations. Federation. And a special thank videos and making us as it is today. So thank you, Martin, for editing the videos. And I'm just, more and more as I see the videos which have been launched today, the song which has been launched today, I'm just very much inspired and enlightened that how the complex issues or how the critical issues which we are facing today in terms of the identity, history, and cultures of tribals have been portrayed and have been transmitted in the form of music and storybook, and which also reinforcing or re-emphasizing that the transition of intergenerational learning from our elder people to the younger generation. And today we have the last speaker for the day and the panel, Dr. C. Madegowda from ATREE, and we are very happy and delighted to have you, sir, here. So I welcome Dr. C. Madegowda. The floor is yours. Looking forward for your sharing and insights. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Today I'm very happy that part of this program, the Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Group Federation. So releasing the two our forest dreams and our forest lives, the song album, and it is very interesting and excellent work done by the Soban team and Federation. I would like to congratulate them because they've done excellent work. And I think this type of works will help us for Adivasi communities, not only in the Gudalur area, in other part of India. So I think, and also regarding this forest attacks, I interest very much. And I think what are the in the forest act, what are the provisions are there, and how can we implement in the process? All the song, all the things were narrated in the songs. I think it play in the community level, explaining is easy to understand the forest act, because I am working from almost in ATREE as a co-trust for research ecology environment from last 20 years, and I work with the community more than 23 years with my community, the Solek community in Chamar district of Mysore district, and I also involved in the research related work, and focusing on forest attack from beginning 2006. I also tried many officers and Gram Panchayat members and officially in the entire state in Karnataka. So it is a opportunity for our Adivasi community. I say that is the Parasite Act is in the preamble itself is saying the social injustice done to the Adivasi communities. At least now the government of India, the government is understanding our rights of Adivasi communities. And I think I say that there is Adivasi communities are living this forest many centuries, and we have very cultural bond relation with the nature. I think when the British came and they put more restriction to the communities, our Adivasi communities, and I think our Adivasi community leaders, our community people were struggle to get the rights in the forest area. I think after that, after independence, I think say different forest policies brought out by the government. After the forest policies, they put the more restriction to our Adivasi communities, and it affected our livelihood and culture, our tradition, and our lifestyle. So I think after that, it went on a lot of struggle with our Adivasi communities. And I think the government of India brought out the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. This is Act for the protection and conservation of the forest, the wildlife. But in the name of the conservation, the Adivasi communities were displaced, and our communities were facing crisis. Even till today we are facing displacement problem in the name of tiger conservation, in the name of wild animal conservation, in the name of elevated conservation. So the government or policy maker, they are not understanding the Adivasi culture. I think Adivasis are worshipping tiger. For example, if you take our community, we worship as a tiger god, and Adivasi worship the elephant as elephant god, and even worship different wild animal as a god. I think this cultural relations with forest and trees, and they're not understanding our culture related to forest and knowledge. And I also see this our stories. I think Shobhan team did. So our stories, our songs, our lifestyle related to the forest, nature, wildlife. So that is a very basic thing. I think then now when they're declaring the tiger reserve, wildlife sanctuary, national parks, so every time now this is an agenda for the environmental groups. So now many environmental groups are thinking Adivasi should not be leaving the forest area. They should be displaced from the forest area. I think they are thinking that their land is this is their land. It's not their land. This is land belong to Adivasi community. We are the people of this country, and we are the indigenous community of this land. But the people not understanding, and they are looking only the wildlife and forest. So we are part of this landscape. We are part of this forest area. So how they can decide in our culture of this our lifestyle? We have our own our culture. We respect. We know the behavior of the animal. We know the behavior of the tiger. We know the behavior of the wild elephant, and we elephant know the behavior of our community, our Adivasi community. We are living together many centuries, but these communities and policy maker not understanding the reality, not understanding the reality things. So this is the arguing in that way. I think this is Forest Act is a very is a good opportunity for our Adivasi communities. I think they realize themselves because we done they violated our rights, Adivasi rights. So now I think they realize the government and policymakers they realize that we should give the right to the Adivasi community. So this is the right now. I think our Adivasi community people will struggle many decades to get this policy. I think now in the act itself, I think now Soban team mentioning the individual land rights and the community forest rights, and also we have conservation rights. That is also very important for us because we are conserving the forest for centuries of grandfather and grandmothers. So now we have conservation legally we have, and also we have habitat rights. Particular vulnerable tribal groups have that type of rights, and also we have basic rights. So most of the Adivasi villages and forests we did not have the basic like housing or drinking water. So all this problem we are facing many years. So I think under this act there is a provision for that. I can share a few points about our areas. I am working within this forest act in Chamra district of Karnataka state, and in Chamra district we have 4 protected area. One is Bandipura Tiger Reserve and BRT Tiger Reserve, Biligi Rangasamy Temple Tiger Reserve. And then we have 2 wildlife sanctuaries, Malay Madesha Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. So entire, I think 50% of the district area covered with forest, and we have 4 protected area. Now the government is planning to declare one more wildlife sanctuary, Malay Madesha Wildlife Sanctuary as a tiger reserve. So now I think in entire they are going to do it. And I think when the Forest Act came, the ATREE, Asoka Trust for Research, Ecology, Environment, and VGKK, the Vivekananda Girijana Kalyana NGOs working for our community. I also work with the ATREE, and Dr. Nitin Rai and Dr. Siddhappa Sethi also working in the Forest Act with the ATREE. And ATREE organized a lot of training program, workshop, and seminar for our community. So I share some of the experience I'm working within the Forest Act in the implementation process. And so after training, I think we the Jilla Budakattu Girijana Sangha. I am the part of the Sangha. I am the secretary of the Sangha from almost 15 years. I am as a secretary. And also we have Soliga Abhidhi Sanghas. In all the 4 blocks we have Sanghas. And this was initiated by Dr. Darshan. And now I think 20 years back we taken our, and we now Adivasi youth and leader with involved in implementing our activities and empowering our community people. I think after the forest attack came, and first we did that. So we should be member of in all the levels. What the song itself showing that we are the member of the sub-regional level committee, and also we are member in the district level committee, and also we are member in the state level monitoring committee. Anyway, we are in the on the Grama Sabha level. So all the Soliga communities are 3 members from each representing in the community. That is the advocacy we did in Chamaranagar. And after that, I think we claimed the community forest rights first, because the NTFP collection was back in all the 4 protected area. And because, so only the 40% of the Adivasi community having land, and remain 60% people having landless families. So major our level of this depend on the non-timber forest product like honey, amla, gooseberry, so all the product. And also we get almost 7 to 8 months of NTPs from the forest area. So first we applied for that, and I think in the district level forest committee, the forest department always saying the Wildlife Protection Act, it's not possible under the act. So saying that. So we argued that in the committee saying that, so this act also passed in the parliament. Your act, Wildlife Protection Act also passed in the parliament. What is the difference? And also we say that in the argument say that we also mentioning this, all the act will be consider this is a act. So this act, I think when we apply the community forest right, then again government is declaring the BRT Wildlife Sanctuary is a tiger reserve. So we did protested the Chamberlain, given the memorandum to all political leader and the bureaucracy. And even that also they declared the tiger reserve in 2011. And I think in 2011-10 we got the land rights for 3 protected area, BRT Tiger Reserve and Malayalam Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. So the government has declared the Tiger Reserve in 2011, October 2nd. So they declared January, and in October 2nd we got the community forest rights in the BRT Tiger Reserve for 25 forested committees of 30 Grama Sabhas. I think out of 50 Tiger Reserve, the first Tiger Reserve we got the. Good evening, and thank you. I think after that, I think we put a lot of effort, and we got in BRT Tiger Reserve, we got the 35 Grama Sabhas, the forest committee got the committee rights covering almost 40 settlement we call photos here, and also we have around 15 forest committees at the sub-division level committee. And also we got the community rights in the Malay Madesha Wildlife Sanctuary, around 25 FRCs. And also we have one more protected called Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. There we got our village, we have only 4 settlements in that area. So there we got the community forest right for the 4 Grama Sabhas. And now I think, and also we, totally this is the community forest right. And now I think in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, this is other challenging issue we have in the Chamra district. I think this is the first tiger reserve in India declared by the government. And now people were displaced with long back. And there is a committee, we already have 22 forest committees, and we applied the committee forest and sub-level level, the application were there. And we planning to get the right in our communities, because they are also our community, and also we are pushing it there. And so this is the rights. I think regarding this, so it is possible when we work on the grassroots level. I think the Sanghas and the ATREE and VGK supported us, and we taken a very active role. The community leaders, the community leaders, or the elder leaders were involved in the process. And now I think now we after that I also we prepare the community-based conservation plan. So ATREE and VGK supported, and so after getting the rights, so we have our own plan. I think many panelists and the speaker mentioned that we need to conserve our forest. So we are conserving traditionally by our Adivasi communities. But in uh, the paperwork, I can say that many people looking in the how the people are conserving, they have to show something. So this is happening. So that we are prepared plan and we planning to implement in this in the community-based conservation plan in all the protected area. I think we prepared the plan for the BRT Tiger Reserve. So I think now within 2 years we have to plan and we planning to prepare the conservation plan for the Malayalam Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. After getting the rights in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve, so then we are planning to prepare the conservation plan. I think after getting the rights, we have monitoring committee under the Forest Rights Act. So that act will be implemented. So now I think through Sanghas,
Sir,
so
we are
we
running
taken up
short
that
of
activity.
time. So I request if you could wind up with your final message.
Okay. This is the just sharing my experience in the Forest Rights Act. I think thank you for giving an opportunity to uh, share my experience in this panel. I think I would like to thank Shobha and the team, Federation team, for their valuable work done for the Adivasi communities. Thank you and all.
Thank you, Dr. Madegowda, for an very insightful sharing. And I think that was very inspiring and enlightening, because he also talked about coexistence and how they have been fighting and how they have been working towards recognition of rights of the indigenous people in the protected areas, which he mentioned that there has been efforts done. And how he also said that I think it is very important discussion which we are having today when we are talking about our forest dreams and our forest lights, is also need to emphasize, you know, how indigenous communities and local communities and how Adivasis of Nilgiris have been in coexistence with nature, with animals, and with the entire biodiversity. And as how Dr. Madegowda also spoke about this, that we have to emphasize and push forward that it is coexistence that has been there, and that is which is very important, because there has been efforts wherein there has been narrative where the indigenous and the local communities needs to be evicted from their land, and why coexistence is not possible. And one of the very important point which he raised is, you know, how a Forest Rights Act 2006 is also passed in parliament and is one of the very important landmark law for us, but it still remains in the will of the implementers, and there's lack of understanding in the implementers. And how Dr. Madegowda and his team have been working relentlessly in terms of implementation of forest right acts amongst Solika Adivasi communities. As he rightly said, Dr. Madegowda is from Solika Adivasi tribe, and he's also leader of Solika Adivasi. And along with that, he has also been working as a senior research associate with ATREE, and how he has been dealing issues of conservation narratives, and how entirely working towards emphasis on access to minor forest produce. So we thank once again Dr. Madegowda for his very enriching and deep insights of his work experience, which he has been doing since many years. And it was inspiring to have you amongst us. Thank you, Dr. Madegowda, once again.
Thank you.
So, my dear, thank you, Dr. Madegowda, for joining us and for your very powerful and insightful message. Yeah. So moving ahead, we have come towards the end of this session, and we have almost screened a few videos from the music album, but we have many more song videos from a music album. But for that, you have to check our websites. So once again, I thank and congratulate Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation, for curating this amazing creative projects of our forest dreams and our forest lives. I would also like to thank Adivasi Drishyam, an online youth media collective, for working together with Nilgiris, particularly Vulnerable Tribal Groups Federation. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Wire, who has been our media partners for today's event. And it has been a collaborative effort to pull together this amazing event. And for me personally, it has been very inspiring session. And at last, before I hand over to Eugene to take the events towards the end, I would like to say only one thing, that we all and the entire globe is talking about climate action and climate crisis. And today all my learnings and insights has been reinforced that until and unless the rights of the indigenous people over their territories, land and forest is not recognized, their history, culture, traditional knowledge and practices is not empowered and strengthened, we can never attain climate action, or we will be very, very behind achieving climate action. And hence, indigenous people and the local communities are an important stakeholders and integral part of a decision making process for climate action. So let us keep connected, sharing and learning about the traditional knowledge and practices of indigenous communities. So from my end, Johar everyone, and thank you for joining us. Over to you, Eugene.
Yes, thank you so much, Archana. Thank you so much for wonderfully moderating the session. I think this is a great learning experience in terms of collaborative experience, in terms of Adivasis, those who have been connected from the Chota Nagpur region, Adivasis, those who have been connected from the south, and all the places can feel the same, the concept or the same struggle or same thing. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining. It's a heartfelt thank you on behalf of NPVTG Federation and on behalf of Adivasi Drishyam. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everybody who were present here, who have been contributing immensely in making this live video possible, who have contributed in the production of book, and you have those who have been engaged in translating the book in all the languages and all. So thank you, everybody. I really thank Via. A grateful thank you to everybody, to all the panelists over here, especially Dr. Madegowda, Gam, and everybody who were present. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody who all have joined in the Zoom session. So stay tuned, keep follow us, our website in NPVTG F. You can go to the website and access the book, and also you can follow us. As Archana said, we are a youth media Adivasi collective, and you can follow us in Adivasi Drishyam YouTube page, Instagram page, Twitter, and Facebook. So stay tuned, and thank you so much. It's time to end. Johar.
Yeah, so Eugene, and I would request if everyone can put on the cameras, we could have group photos. For those who are around, if you could put on your camera and we could have group photos.
And also, just to add finally, please feel free to translate this work in your own languages, and we will be very happy if people can come forward and even translate this in Adivasi languages and Gondi, for instance, Gondi or any other language. And uh, the links were shown on the screen, and please feel free to write to us on ourforestdreams@gmail.com in case you have any questions or you have any concerns, or if any of your questions have not been answered, we will try and get in touch with each and every person who has questions or concerns.
Yeah, Eugene, so you're taking the picture.
I think we should end with a song, Archana.
Yes.
Sobha, if you could sing a song and we can join you.
Or maybe
No
Lakshmi.
way.
Can Lakshmi sing a song?
Thank you. Lakshmi is not around here, so
Or we can play one of the
song and-
music.
Yeah. Let's end with a song on that same high energy with which we started.
You can dance on it as well.
The child song, the children's song.
The children's song.
I think our technical team is tired after this long session full of technical difficulties.
இவை சட்டம் 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 இது ஆதிவாசிகளுக்கான சட்டம் 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 இது ஆதிவாசிகளுக்கான சட்டம் 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 இது காட்டில் வாழ்வதற்கான சட்டம் 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 இது காட்டில் வாழ்வதற்கான சட்டம்.
Thank you for this amazing song, and I would like to thank the interpreters who tirelessly worked for us and helped us interpreting the entire session. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you for your interpretation. So here we are, friends. Here we wind up and end our event. So